Hi, guys. This is Yummy Wilfred, the host of It Was Never Personal with Yummy Wilfred, the podcast. Thank you for tuning in. It was never personal. It has always been about love, laughter, music, dance, colors, role playing, balance, awareness, authenticity, not taking the ego too seriously, taking life too seriously. It is all about realizing that this is a dream, an illusion that you and I get to co create with a power higher than us. It was never personal. Tune in to get inspired, motivated, and mostly importantly, find ways to love yourself and do so with laughter and joy. This is nothing new. You won't get anything new from this. What I mean by that, I mean that it has always been there. People have provided these things for me. It's not like I come up with this. I've just been a seeker, and via my willingness to be a seeker and to get to know myself, I got to know this information. So it's nothing new. Even you know it. Because ultimately, I'm just giving you a reminder to that which we forgot. Yeah, remember, it was never personal. Thank you for tuning in. In this episode 2, we'll be talking about emotional awareness. Emotional awareness is not really different from self-awareness, but it delves more into you as a person, not into the concepts and other things which are temporary. But self-awareness, take the totality of it, is like an umbrella word, but emotional awareness is an aspect of self-awareness is yeah, emotional awareness is an aspect of self-awareness. So thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate you taking your time to really listen to the podcast. What is emotional awareness? This is the ability to allow yourself to feel your emotions as they occur in this present moment. It is the ability to be able to be comfortable with just feeling how you feel right now, you know? It's the ability to recognize how you feel in this moment. The recognition doesn't really have to be too specific, as in like you necessarily don't have to really go to the extreme of saying, I feel anxious and i feel I feel scared. Yeah, especially if you're starting. But as long as you can go on within and be able to identify that you are feeling a negative emotion or a positive emotion, I feel like if you can just do that and just be able to categorize the emotion into a positive one or a negative one, then that's a good step. From there you can go further and try to be more specific. Doing that, it is just actually what emotional awareness is. And it is also the ability to forgive yourself of the past, to forgive yourself of all this guilt, all of this pride, all of this shame, all of this too 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 attachment to really taking care of other people, So it is just the ability to forgive yourself of all these personalities that led up to this way that you are feeling, this guilt that you feel, this pride that you feel, And eventually you would learn that, okay, pride comes from positive thoughts, but then you attach yourself to those positive thoughts and then you overdo it, spend more time on that extreme, and then you lose yourself. Or the guilt, which comes from negative emotions, which if you believe them, then you take them for who you are, and you just shame yourself, and that is actually self-loathing. So being able to forgive yourself of the past, because actually thoughts are about whatever that has occurred in the past. Being able to forgive yourself of the past, allowing yourself to feel it in the now, is actually being emotionally aware. It is the ability to feel comfortable with feeling the negative and the positive emotion without any judgment. You don't have to really, because with judgment, then it comes down to, I don't want to feel this. This is what I want to feel. Now you are trying to really shift away from the present moment, because the present moment is really giving you whatever that you need to feel right now, which may be negative or positive. So if you're self-aware or trying to be emotionally self-aware, then you have to be able to feel comfortable with feeling both the negative and positive emotions without any judgment. But how do you become able to feel them and be aware of them? Just like self-awareness, you have to be able to create a space between you and the emotion, and be able to get down to know why you had to feel that, what caused you, what led you to feel that. Like I said, my counselor told me that feelings how I feel has nothing to do with the situation. It has everything to do with what I think about the situation, you see. So being able to create a space between your feelings and yourself will lead you to those thoughts that led to that feeling, and those thoughts that led to the feeling will actually give you a reason why, or the purpose why you had to feel that, because it means that you have to really work on yourself. Yes. And also being emotionally aware would give you that ability to be aware of your triggers. We all have triggers or emotional triggers. They can be happy, it can lead to positive emotions or negative emotions, yeah. So with emotional awareness, you can get that. I guess I really like self-awareness. Yeah. So at the end of the day, emotional awareness is important because with it, you can then be an architecture, you can be a conductor of your machine or your body and create a life that you really want. You can be the co-creator, which you are, with the power that created the entire universe. We are co-creators with that, but we have to be emotionally aware, because we are given the free will to choose how we react, how we feel, the amount of time we get to feed on thoughts which will lead to the emotions. So as a result, it is our responsibility to really create that emotional awareness. Yeah. That is that with emotional awareness, the ability to allow yourself to create a space between you and the feelings and experience it as the energy form that it is, without any judgment, and be able to feel so in this present moment. You don't have to really start thinking about whatever that happened back then. Just start from this moment. Yeah. And the second segment will be talking about how feelings infects. This I learned during my I'm on a 40 cycle day, 40 days to cycle before my conjunction period. It's like 40 days where I try to really be aware of myself, be aware of my emotion, really try and be introspective of myself. So during this period, what I learned first was that feelings are infects. Well, I knew it then, but I never really understood what it meant. This is what it means. Feelings are infects. If they infect, what are they? They are pointers. They're just information. They will tell you of the direction that you took in each moment that we interact or meet upon this life. An interaction with your friend, whenever you are just sitting down thinking, whatever that you do along the day, you either take the road to fear or the road to love, and the road to fear will lead to negative thoughts, and then you're attached to those negative thoughts and negative feelings will emerge. If you choose the positive, the love, the road to love or the road of love, you will release or experience positive emotions, positive thoughts, which will yield positive emotions, and then it becomes joyous, yeah. So feelings are just pointers of which road you took, and you really have to be able to retract. It's okay if you want to stay on the side of the fear. It's okay if you want to stay on the side of the positive. Yeah, whatever road you want to take, it doesn't really matter personally, but collectively it does, because then if you take the road of fear, you're going to be dysfunctional, to other people by being dysfunctional to yourself. So you'd rather want to take the road to love. Yeah. So feelings ain't facts. So with the information that you get from feelings, which are just pointers, you can be able to be aware of your feelings and be able to retrace the thoughts that led to the feeling and be able to use those thoughts to know what was the purpose of you for feeling that. Because feelings are just like challenges, especially if negative, they're like challenges. So a challenge has a purpose, so you have to solve it, and usually it's just a work within you. It has less to do with you fixing another person or something which is outside you. It has more or everything to do with you fixing the personality that you have. Yeah. So if you know that feelings are in facts, or now because I know that feelings are in facts, I do not confuse feelings with the reality. I don't confuse feelings with who I am. I don't confuse feelings with how life is. I don't take feelings personal. I don't take life too personal as a result. If I if I if during the day I feel sad, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that I'm sad. I just have to really go in and find why I'm feeling that, and then I can actually, if I allow myself to feel it, I'll be able to really transform it into peace. And also being able to be aware of the fact that feelings are in facts. This is what happened to me, because I like spending a lot of time with myself. Like whenever I get home, it's usually during the weekends, I just stay home. But sometimes I tend to feel alone, I tend to feel lonely. That's just the feeling. But is it a fact? Am I lonely? No, I'm not lonely, because in real essence, we are all connected, we are all one. So it's just a condition of our mind, of the ego, which actually believes in the separation of us as human beings. It believes that there's you and there's me. But because I'm aware that feelings are in facts, I know that, actually I'm not lonely. It's just a feeling that came because of the thought. So I let it go, and then I can be able to just be comfortable and peaceful with spending time with myself. Yeah. So that is that about that. Now we'll be moving on to the third segment, which is about thought relationship with feelings. So like I said, feelings arise from thoughts. Yeah, So that is why it is so important to be careful of your thoughts. Be careful of the thoughts that you have, the thoughts that you allow to really surround your mind, to play in your mind, to spend time on your essence, because those thoughts will really create your experience, which in this term of emotional context of emotional awareness will be your feelings. How you feel has to do with the thoughts that you have believed in, So this is how it goes. You have a thought that you identify with. You believe that the thought is you. You believe that the thought adds to the sense of who you are as a person, or actually as a spirit. Let me say that, so equating the thought to who you are in real essence means that you have believed in the thought. So now, because you have believed in the thought, your body has to release those chemicals, which yield to you feeling happy, sad, angry, or anxious. Every emotion, every feeling is just the result of that. The belief that you have upon a thought which you have identified to yourself. That's that. So it's just learning that thoughts yield feelings, and you have to be able to be careful of your thoughts. It's a cycle. After that, it doesn't really end there. Feelings then get, if you are emotionally unaware, the feelings will get to perpetuate the thoughts, And remember, a positive thought will perpetuate a positive feeling. So a positive feeling has to also perpetuate a positive thought. It doesn't work like a negative feeling will perpetuate a positive thought. Negative goes with the negative thoughts. Positive feelings goes with the positive thoughts. Yes. So it's a cycle like that. And then, but if you are emotionally aware, then you'll be able to create a space in which now feelings won't be able to just perpetuate the thought, or the thought won't be able to really perpetuate the feeling. You just allow it to be as it came there, and then it will just flow through you. So it's very important to not really stay on one side of the thought. Just be able to feel the negative, is it okay, and feel the positive, is it okay. Feeling means being aware of them. Just be aware of the positive thoughts as they come, the negative thoughts as they come. Don't get attached to any of them. That is how you'll be able to get emotionally aware. Yeah. Now, not all feelings, not all emotions come from thoughts which we can really retrace immediately right now. Some of these emotions that we feel are a collective pain that we have really accumulated as we were growing up, as little children, as we were really trying to really experience life as little children. So because we were growing up, when we were seeking love, validation, and acceptance from our environment, from our parents, from our teachers, from our friends, we tend to really just sweep everything under the rug. I allow someone to hurt me. I allow someone to say something about me, and I accept whatever they say about me. I accept whatever definition they give me, even though I know that this really hurt me as a child. This is not really true. This is not really true of it. Like, why did you say so? But because I want to be accepted, I want to be loved and validated, I just allow myself to really go through that. But now it yields to an accumulation of those negative emotions. And as now we are grown up, or young adults, or even just older adults, it comes a period in time where during the day, this pain which we have accumulated in our body will just arise, and that pain you cannot really clearly retrace the thought, because like I said, it happened really when you were young, when you are not really consciously consciously there. You were not really able to really just keep memories. We don't really remember whatever that happened when we were really like 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, even 7 years. The minds keep on forgetting. Yeah. So because of whatever that happened when we were young, we get to really have this collective pain that accumulates in our body, and it may arise during the day, but it has to be triggered. It can be triggered by something which is small, such as someone if I like, for me, for example, I have this other friend of mine. And I was like, okay, I want to meet you at 2 o'clock, and then it happened that they were occupied, like they couldn't meet me, so they were like, okay, I'm so sorry, Alfred, we will not be able to meet today. So that triggered me, it triggered that pain that I have inside my body, and I felt pained, but all along the day, I was feeling so peaceful, so happy, but after that, I felt this pain, and before, this is something that I actually discovered during the 40-day cycle. So before, I was not aware of it, so I would usually retrace the feeling to something which happened maybe 5 days ago or a week ago, but it's not that. I know that it's not that. It has to do with something that I really with something that I really don't know of. So it is my responsibility now to really feel it and just be there. And I actually did it. I felt it. I got home. I didn't really try and say, you know what, I'm going to try and fake it up and say, because I had a really happy day, I'm going to end it with a happy, with a end it still being happy. I allowed myself to feel the pain which arose from a friend telling me that they're occupied, they're going to a class, they're not going to be able to meet me. Like that cannot really yield to me just starting to feel all these emotions, and it was so heavy, so heavy, and all of us have that pain accumulation, that pain in our body that is accumulated, and it can really arise during the day, during whatever experience that we have from a little trigger. You would know that it is that such pain when you have like a little something which is insignificantly capable of causing an outrageous negative emotions in the body, because I didn't really have to think about why is my friend saying that they're preoccupied going to class. Like that would be so ridiculous, because they have to go to class, they have to do it. I can come tomorrow, you see. But because now I was experiencing that, and it triggered whatever that I had went through as a little kid. Yeah, I guess that is what they do at the at a therapy at a therapy session and something like that. So now let's move on to why it is important for us to really express our emotions. A lot of people think that if you are emotionally aware, if you have your things going on, if you are really working on yourself, you don't react. Yeah, you don't react. But you have to really express your emotions. You have to, no matter how developed you are, you have to express how you feel. You have to express your anger, your happiness, your hurt. You can cry. You have to, you have to do it. You have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. But these moments, these emotions or feelings, they have to arise, because they have to arise in the present moment, and you have to be able to notice them right now. You don't have to really fetch them from something that happened in the past. You don't have to really drag them from something that might happen in the future. It's just being right here right now. You are having an interaction and somebody says something that really somehow it steps onto your principles, and you're like, no, don't do that, don't do that, I don't want you to do that. Like, this is, no, I don't want to do that, don't do that to me, you're just crossing the line right now. Or maybe you are having an interaction, and then you're you hear something which is really painful. Allow yourself to really cry, even if you get what is that, you get your results, you get something feedback, and then you feel hurt by it. Allow yourself to cry, it's fine, you're hurt. Yeah, you're hurt, allow yourself to cry. Doing that will let the emotion to really flow through, because the emotion is feelings are energy forms which actually just pass through us. But if you resist it, it will just persist and just stay stuck there, you see. But if you express it, you allow it to flow through, and you'll be able to move on. But expression of emotions that I'm talking about right now comes from a place of love. Like I said, if you're angry, you tell someone, or you tell yourself, listen, this is not how I do things. You just say it with a calm voice, or in a really respectful way, in a kind way, in no way that you are really trying to say that someone is wrong, or trying to make them an a wrongdoer. You don't victimize yourself in the situation. You're just stating the facts that they are. Somebody maybe comes in, and then they take your seat, and then you're like, but I was sitting over there, and then they start saying, oh no, that I was over here with my friend, and they start just joking around. Yeah, you can get angry from that, and just tell them, no, I don't really appreciate you doing that. You know the truth. You know that you were not here. You saw me sitting over here. This was my place. Or maybe being in a restaurant and then you get served cold soup. Yeah, if you don't like the cold soup, express how you feel, but don't make it about the 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 waitress, you know. Don't introduce them into it. Don't say, how dare you serve me the cold soup. What do you, how do you feel doing that? What did you think? Did you really, like, I paid for this? Like, oh no. On that level, you are really just taking the emotions to be who you are. You are taking the you're just taking the road of fear, you know. Take the road of love. Yeah. As a result, um as a result, if you do the other way around, which is taking the road of fear, you actually become the emotion. So this goes out to say that until you are emotionally aware, you haven't really felt or experienced the emotions. Until you have been emotionally aware, or until you are emotionally aware of how you feel, you do not know the emotion. Rather, you are the emotion. You know, you have identified yourself with that. I guess you get me, right? Yeah. And on the aspect of expressing emotions, it's really vital. It's vital. Like, I listened to this other doctor. He's Dr. Gabor Mate. Gabor Mate, yeah. He's really, oh wow, I really love whatever that he does. So he really talked about how it is important for us as human beings to really express emotions. We have to show them, because he said that within his field of medicine, he really realized that all of these autoimmune diseases like cancer, multiple sclerosis, depression, anxiety, like all of those things, Alzheimer disease, they are led by the repression of emotions, like our inability to express how we feel. You know, you let someone, you're like, okay, this is my best friend, so I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to tell her that she really did me. I didn't feel well, but I didn't feel right from how she really treated me. You know, you let other people to step on your principles, on your values, and then you don't tell them that, guys, no, don't do that. You know, this is my comfort. This is my territory. Don't do that. You know, yeah, I respect you. I love you, but as long as you cross it over, that doesn't really sit well with me. Yeah, you tell them, you express your emotions. So all of this diseases, the anxiety, the depression, the multiple sclerosis, the cancer, for example, the breast cancer, the skin cancer, they are all because we have really repressed our emotions. It's crazy. It's crazy because when I learned it, I went, oh, oh, you know, because I knew that we create whatever that we experience. If you experienced it, you have created it. You know, I don't want to go deep, but if um if you're experiencing something, on some level you have created it yourself. And when it comes to this examples of diseases that I'm saying, it's because you are not emotionally aware or self-aware, because guess what, you are not allowing yourself to express the emotions that you feel. You are just sweeping everything under the rug. It's like, oh, okay, it's fine, I love them, you know, I don't want to lose my friend. But you will lose yourself, you know, and in losing yourself, you would also lose your friend. That is ultimately the truth. Now, there's a difference between peace and happiness. You know, I've really changed how I really view happiness. I don't really value it like that. That's not my goal. My goal is not to really be happy. If anything, I just want to be at peace. I don't want to be right. I just want to be at peace. I don't want drama. I just want peace, you know? And it's fine. Sometimes I really I let things, I just let things go, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take that personal. Bye. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that I don't really express how I feel. Get it? Okay. So now happiness and peace are two different things. Happiness is a state of mind, is superficial. You get happy because of the thought, the experience which leads to thoughts, and the thoughts that leads to feelings, because you've identified with the thoughts, you know? Yeah. But a sense of peace is actually just being able to connect to the God essence inside of you, being able to connect with the energy that created you, being able to to sit still in that space between your thoughts and your thoughts and your experience. It's like, okay, I'm happy, but I know this is the happiness, this is the feeling that I'm experiencing, the happiness. You create a space between the happiness and you would enjoy. If you're at peace, you enjoy feelings. You can be able to be happy. Happy. You can be able to just do it and just get moving. Yeah. Now we'll be moving on to talking about the importance of balancing. What is it? Wait. Yeah, we'll be moving on to why it is important to really balance our emotions, like balance how you feel. We have to really feel both emotions. We have to feel the negative and the positive. We live in a world of polarities. That's one thing. We have the male and female, the black and the white. We have the night, the day, sun, moon. We have the up and down. We have it's just polarities, right? So we have to really honor it at the practical level. So now the same is with emotions, because emotions are formed. They are part of this practical world. You have to honor them by just experiencing both of them without judgment, without detachment, without actually running out away from them. Yeah. So if you are able to really feel emotions and be balanced in the way that you feel emotions, that means allowing yourself to feel the negative and feel the positive. You'll be able to return to that thing that I was saying. You'll be able to really return to a state of peace, because actually when things are at balance, there's neutrality. For example, in chemistry we learn that atoms have like the number of electrons are equals to the number of protons. The positive protons are equals to the negative electrons. And then this atom is what? It's neutral. It's electrically neutral. And if it's electrically neutral, I can use that analogy to really come with to really indulge it with the emotions. If you are able to really feel the negative and the positive and welcome them, you will join them and be in a state of neutrality, and that is peace. And from having the peace that you have, you will not take life too personal. You create the life that you want to really live. It isn't easy though. It isn't easy. Just like self-awareness, the same thing applies. So being able to really balance the way that you really feel emotions would allow you to keep yourself at peace and raise your vibration. Because if you've been feeling low and you allow yourself to really feel the sadness, I tell you, it's a guarantee that along the process, if you really allow it in this present moment and be comfortable with yourself feeling sad or angry or whatever in that present moment, you'll be able to really move past through it, because the feeling will really pass through you. Remember, what you resist persists. What you allow is transformed into peace. It actually goes through you. Yeah. And what you want is the peace. We all want peace. We all want to feel like everything is in order. We want to feel aligned. And like I said, feelings are not facts. They're just pointers. They will tell you if you are at peace or not at peace. And if you're not at peace, it's because you've actually just took the road of fear, the road to negative emotions and negative thoughts. Yeah. Now, let's talk about how we as a collective, or we as human beings, we don't really understand this. The mind or the ego, the pseudo self, our personalities, or the way that we are actually made, is that the mind is addicted to negative feelings, negative thoughts. because it's a response. It is actually just a response from to something which is out there. The mind always thinks that something is out to get it. So even little things, like how I was saying that my friend was telling me that he had to attend, my mind may take it as he's rejecting me, he doesn't like me, so it's really addicted to negative things. And because we are afraid of allowing ourselves to feel those negative emotions, and we don't allow ourselves to feel them, we then try and find ways of escaping that, of coping with those negative emotions. And it's a very bad way of coping. It's like poor, we use alcohol, we use drugs, we use sex, we use work, we use exercise, like a lot of things, anything that you use, and it can be something which is conventionally seen as positive, such as cleaning, such as checking your friends. I know that one because I had it whenever I felt this pain which would just arise during the day. I'll run to my friends. I'll be like, okay, this is how I feel. Oh no, I don't want to feel this. And then I start calling my friend. Are you home? Okay, can I check you? You know? And I'll start to maybe I'll watch a movie, maybe I'll watch a series, maybe I'll start. Oh yeah, another thing that I do is that whenever I feel a negative emotion, or I don't want to really feel an emotion, I'll start eating. Like I eat, and I like something. I like, well, sweety things. Like I like, yeah, sweet and fat. That's what I'll just open the fridge, open the cupboards, and start eating. So these things are what I use as my coping mechanisms. And conventionally, they're not bad, because I don't think, if you see me right now, or maybe you enter the house and then you're like, oh, Wilfred, you're eating a box of cake, you won't really think something is wrong with me, because it's okay to do that. But if I really had 5 bottles of alcohol next to me, maybe you'll get the bells will ring, the something will ring in your head that, oh, let me check him, because what is he doing, you see. But the same thing goes to whatever that we see as okay to do, like cleaning, exercising. It's just we have different ways of dealing with our emotions, yeah. So we then, because we have ways of dealing with negative emotions which are poor. Why are they poor? They're poor because they help us escape, they help us to resist feeling the emotions as they are in this present moment, you see. So then we become addicts, we become a collective nation of addicts, and I know this. Huh. Okay. But right now, we're really addicted to our cell phones. Not cell phones per se, but social media. Yeah, social media. We are addicted to it. And it helps. It helps because this is how it really works. It really has less to do with the AI thing, but to do at the core of it keeps the mind are busy. It takes you away from feeling what you have to feel. It takes you away from the present moment, and then you keep scrolling. And then now, in addition to the AI, which is really in your phone, and it knows, these are just like programs which are just trying to really know what you really like, to keep you glued into that. Then you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. When are we going to have time to really sit and say, today I'm not going to really touch my phone. I'm not really going to do that. But it's your phone. You can do whatever you want to do with it, but don't let it just disconnect you from feeling what you have to feel. Yeah, like I said, the ego or the mind is addicted to negative feelings. And we as a collective are addicted to poor mechanisms of coping with negative feelings, because they disallow us from feeling what we have to feel. Yeah. So you have to really be comfortable with sitting with yourself. Now, it will be very hard to do it. Why? Because, like I always said, this pseudo self, this mind has really attached to whatever that we've made a habit. Whenever that you're feeling tired. Yeah, usually people say, I like asking people, how are you? And then they're like, I'm tired, or I'm fine. You know that I'm fine wish you can really tell that you're not fine, but they're like, I'm fine. So whenever they feel I'm fine or I'm tired, they run to their phone, they start exercising, they clean, so be aware of that. But it's really going to be hard for you to really not run to your phone, run to the fridge, run to the alcohol, run to your friends when you feel that emotion, because it is something that you've been building upon and you have created a solid foundation. It's a habit, and habits are really hard to break. It doesn't really work with the 90-day, the 21, the 90-day, whatever days that you take. It doesn't work. What will work is just allowing yourself in the present moment. As soon as the emotion arises, allow yourself to feel it. Be comfortable with it. Don't run away from it. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I won't lie to you. It's hard. Even I know that it's hard, Yeah. For example, I was really this week. So I really had to see myself through my friend, I really had to see myself through my friend. And that was bad because at first I was like, I really I judged my friend. I was like, why is my friend like this? Why is them doing this and this and this? Like I was really the right one. I was still in my ego. I was still in my mind. I was still identified with it. I was thinking that I'm superior than the other. So I was judging, placing guilt on them. But later on, I realized, no. The calls are coming from inside the house, I'm actually judging her and putting the guilt on her because I know that, because I have already done that to myself. Whatever that I see in her, which is fault, I know that it is there in me. It's there in me. So I saw that, and it was very painful for me to really accept it. It was really painful for me to really sit comfortably with it, but I had to do it. I had to. And at the day before, I actually was successful in walking through the fire. I had to learn how to balance the two emotions, So I was really there, and I would feel that because I spend a lot of time with my friend, and then it's like, oh, okay, I can feel this thought, which is judging my friend, and I'm judging her because I'm judging myself. I knew that. So as soon as I judge her and I see her through this veil of thought that I have, which is judgmental, and it ridicules her, it pained me because I know that whatever that I'm doing to her, I've already done it to myself, So it was really hard for me to really go and say, just be comfortable with it. Allow yourself to feel that emotion that arises from you thinking that your friend is wrong and you are right. Yeah. I really had to really be in the present moment and just allow myself to feel it. And it was really hard because I was there with my friend that during that moment, So it's not easy to be self-aware, but trust me, it pays off. It's a big payoff. I do a lot of, I have a lot of tools. I have a lot of tools that I use to really navigate my emotions and this journey. And like I said last time, the present moment will always give you whatever you need to know. So I got the confirmation of what I had to really work on. I read the book, and then I was like, oh, so this is it. And I was able to go beyond. So now I forgave myself, and forgiving myself for critiquing myself, for being too hard on myself, I was able to really forgive my friend, Yeah, and this was really like me working within myself, alone with myself. It's not like I called my friend and said, this is what is happening with you. No. It was just me working there I was really aware of myself. I was working within myself, but it's not easy. It's not easy. But like I said, the whatever you call it, God, Allah, Buddha, Guru Nanak, I really like the word Guru Nanak. Yeah, they will always give you that what you need in the present moment. So because I was really aligned with the present moment, I got a confirmation that, oh, actually, I did it. So it was tick. I learned the lesson. I wrote it down. This is what I felt. This is what I thought. This is what I had to really work on. This is what I have to work on. That's the and then I'm done. I'm done with emotions. So I'm not really right now at guilt. I'm not really judging my friend, and I love them so much. And I love him because I love me so much because I'm emotionally aware. So it's really just about that. Now, how do you really get to be emotionally aware? Like I said, take time to be aware of your thoughts and feelings during the day. And how do you do that? By just coming back to this present moment. And from this present moment, you get to know how you feel. It doesn't have to necessarily be a negative emotion. Even if it's a positive emotion and you feel so happy, go, oh, okay, I feel happy. Why do I feel happy? Because of this thought. What does this thought mean to me? What have I connected this positive thought? What attachment have I created between the thought and me? Although it's a positive emotion, it's not you. It's not you. You're just that which is experiencing it. The same goes to a negative emotion. And you should also try writing out how you feel, but do so without any judgment. What I mean is, right, I feel this way. This is how I feel. And then move on. This is how I feel. Okay. This is the thought that led to that. This is the thought that led to that. Now, the moment you see yourself just going, okay, I'm not going to write this, you are judging it. You're judging it. So just write everything that comes through your mind, because you are trying to be that awareness, to really be connected with that awareness. So if you are aware, you'll be able to just write everything that comes up without any judgment. It's just like meditating. Yeah, all roads all roads lead to meditation. So also be able to just try and accept the feelings for what they are. Don't perpetuate them with any story. Don't create a story. If you're feeling sad, don't try and say I'm feeling sad because this. Just accept it and just let it be. And remember, feelings in facts. I have it within this other board that I've created for my 40-day cycle. Like I write stuff that I really learned during the process, and because it was the first, and it's written at the top. So before I sleep, I always go feelings and facts, and then I try and really retrace whatever thought that I have today, and then I go, oh, you're not a fact, you're a pointer. What did I learn from you? Just do that, and then you would learn something. And remember to laugh. Yeah, laughter is really great. Remember to laugh. Laugh at yourself. Yeah, laugh at yourself. It's not really about laughing at other people. Just laugh at yourself. If it's about laughing at other people, laugh at them. When it comes to other people, you'd have to just laugh at the manifestations that they give out, like the reaction that they give out. I actually just laugh at that, like maybe if I see someone taking life too personal, I laugh at it, I laugh at it, not in a way that goes that belittles them, but in a way that I know that I see myself, I can recognize myself through them. I'll be like, oh, I know that I can feel like that. I once felt like that, but I'm so grateful that I really passed through it and I learned through it. So because they're going through that, I know that they're going to really work through it too, so I'm happy. And then you laugh because you know that this is all an illusion. Why did I take my feelings for reality? Why did I really think that they define me? I'm just experiencing this, and then you get to have fun with life. But it's not really easy, because imagine having lost a parent, having lost a friend. It takes time. It takes time. I remember when I got rejected for my medicine interview. Oh, wow. I had a really rough 6 months. But I'm so grateful, because with that, I learned that I had to really allow myself to feel the emotion. I had to really feel sad. I had to cry. I had to really dumb it down, because I spend a lot of my time happy, or happy. That is what people will say. But I'll say I spend a lot of time feeling at peace. I really created a world of my own, so I cancel out the noise. So really, reality doesn't really have that much effect on me, like all those little teeny little things. But the medicine interview really had an effect. That level of reality had an effect, and I felt sad, and I really had to allow myself to go through it. And I remember telling my counselor that I know that I'll be grateful for this experience. It must have been like a week after getting the review or the rejection. And I was like, I know that one day I'll be grateful for it, you know. And I am, because I learned that I had to really allow myself to feel it and other things. Yeah. So just be able to be aware, and also what you can use to stay emotionally aware is to recognize, but during that time that you're feeling your emotion, where in your body are you feeling it? Because if I'm happy, I know that I vibrate, and I really let go of it, and then I start really stamping my feet up, and I do a lot of things. Then I start grinding my teeth, doing those sounds, because I feel it in my body. I feel it in my hands. I feel it in my abdomen, in my legs. I really feel it in my pecs. And if I'm feeling maybe like that accumulation of the pain that arises during, or arises spontaneously after some little trigger, I know that I feel it in my abdomen. No, actually it's in my chest. Yeah. So you can also feel the emotion in the heart, because like the medicine interview feedback, I felt that pain in my heart. It was the first time, I felt it in the side of my heart. That is what I mean. That is what I mean by my heart. So it was really there. And oh God, I don't know. I don't know. And during that process, I was like always thinking about how are the kids who really got rejected, how are they dealing with? Because not all of us have these tools, we don't have these tools of being self-aware, doing this. And to be honest, to do meditation, to pray, to even exercise, to even do my schoolwork, it was hard during that time. But I really had to learn how to really allow myself to say, it's hard and I don't feel like meditating today, so I'm not going to do it, because I'm a schedule freak. And if I don't do whatever that I wrote on the schedule, it just throws me off. I don't want a chaotic life. I start critiquing myself. Wilfred, why are you doing this? But via the medicine interview thing, I was able to really learn that, I can juice it up. It doesn't have to stay static. If I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like reading today, I'm not going to read. If I wake up and I feel like not exercising, I'm not going to exercise. But that doesn't go for prayer. I have to pray, because the prayer humbles my ego. With an act of prayer, bowing down, it really silences my ego. So it's also so important to really know where you are feeling the pain in your body. So we have come to the end of our episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Share this if you liked it, and really take this week to be aware of yourself, stay in the present moment, and really note down or write down how you are feeling. And in the comment section, can you tell me other ways that you'd use to be emotionally aware, and share those other ideas? And if you have any book that you are reading on self-help, please, guys, tell me about it in the comments. I love spending time reading. Yeah. And again, state whatever topic that you wish I could just talk about it, or any topic which you wish I could touch on. Yeah. Or if any question that you have, just state it in the comments, and I'll reply to it. Yeah, on the comments, or maybe on the next episode. And remember, it was never personal. It was never personal. We all experience feelings. It's not like life is treating you bad. It was never personal. It's just an experience. Take it for what it is. Take the bad and the good, take the perceived negative emotions, the perceived positive emotions for what it is. Take whatever that the mind perceives as bad for what it is. Take whatever the mind perceives as positive for what it is. You will then not take life personal. Yeah. Love you, and thank you so much for tuning in. This is Yummy Wilfred.